Thank you. You guys didn't all have to clap for me like that. I know I'm a popular guy, but I appreciate it. And yes, I am standing up. Okay. So I'm Mr. Noriega. I want to welcome you all to the ECA graduation. So thank you guys for coming. Woo. So first off, I just want to congratulate all of you because these kids wouldn't be where they're at without all of you guys here. Whether you're friends, relatives, mentors, whatever it is, I mean, thank you guys so much for bringing these kids to us because our school wouldn't be what it was without the kids and without you guys. So first off, thank you guys so much. And once again, thank you guys for having these wonderful kids, great, great kids. And I've had the honor of teaching most of them. Some of them came later on, and then I ended up getting them later, so they didn't get to see me like torture them at the beginning of their freshman year. But they did get tortured later on when they were seniors, so either way, it's good. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and start by doing the Pledge of Allegiance. We're also going to be joined up here by Miss Ruby Quintana, and she's going to do the Pledge of Allegiance in Spanish. And we will also have a very special performance by Miss Autumn Scott of the Star Spangled Banner. So, if you can please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Quintana.
Juro fidelidad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la república que representa una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos.
Okay, and if we can have Adam Scott please come up.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So just to let you guys all know, she actually sang at Carnegie Hall recently. So you guys are we're in for a special treat with that. So Miss Autumn Scott. Okay, so let's get this party started, guys. I know last night some of you guys were with us, so you guys already partied a little bit. We're gonna keep on going for all it's graduation week. How you doing? I remember you. All right, so first up, I'm going to have Miss Dennis come up, and she's going to go ahead and chat with you guys and give you guys a little introduction. Thank you, Miss Dennis.
He was going to make you stand up all day, but we're going to let you sit down. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our special guests this evening. First, we have two illustrious school board members, School Board President Dr. Anna Lee Maestas, School Board Member Marty Esquivel, APS Chief Officer, Operations Officer Brad Winter. I've only known him for 20 years. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Andrea Tribus. I'd like to introduce the Early College Academy staff on the stage. Counselor Lynn Ramsey. Assistant Principal Pat Arguelles. Activities Director Gabino Noriega. And our ECA Department Chair and Biology Teacher, Mark Walker. I would like the following secretarial and office staff members to stand. I'm not going to introduce them, but please stand. They're in the audience. You know who you are. A big thanks to the Early College Academy's unsung heroes, our secretary and security staff. So let's give them a big hand. Some of them are already working out there. Last night we had a big ceremony and we saw all the many accomplishments that our students had. And our students today, we'll talk a little bit about parents later, but the students would not have the accomplishments they had if it were not for the incredible ECA and CEC staff. Would the ECA and CEC staff members in the audience please stand? And finally, I would personally like to dedicate, and I know the students would as well, this graduation to Dr. Ken Greenberg. Please stand, Dr. Greenberg. As Franz told us yesterday, Dr. Greenberg is often the magic behind many of the technologies that we use at CEC and ECA, and he will be retiring this year. Please join me, and I cannot tell you how much he will be missed next year, in thanking Dr. Greenberg for his many years of service to both CEC, ECA, and APS. Thank you very much on behalf of all of us. Uh-oh. Where is my script? Wing it, I should. So first thing I want to say about this class is that I was a freshman at ECA with them. They came in my first year, and I was really blessed to have such great students to work with. And I want to thank you all for that privilege. Every day I go to work and I have a big song in my heart because I get to work at a place where I think education is important to all of us. And I want to talk briefly about the meaning of graduation, because I think sometimes graduation gets lost in all the celebrations. And part of graduation is because it is a rite of passage, and almost every society has a rite of passage. Marriages and religious ceremonies are rite of passage, and graduations from high school and college are rite of passage. And today, these students are graduating from high school. Our goal at the Early College Academy is that they go on and they graduate from college, hopefully with bachelor's and master's and PhDs, and maybe, who knows, we might have a future president or two in the crowd. So I want to talk about these rituals, and I want to talk about pomp and circumstances first, because I think it's kind of interesting history. In fact, when this song is not played at graduation, it seems a little odd. Interestingly, Sir Edward Elgar wrote Pomp and Circumstances in 1901 for King Edward VII. Like all great titles, this one comes from a line in my favorite Shakespeare play, Othello. The line is, "Pride, pomp, and circumstance of glorious war." A fitting line given the fact that these students are out to conquer the world. Pomp and Circumstance first became associated with graduation in 1905, when it was played as Elgar received an honorary doctorate from Yale University. The song, however, was played as a recessional and not a processional at the ceremony. After Yale used the tune, Princeton used it, the University of Chicago, and then Columbia. Eventually, the song's popularity grew, and today it is the tune played universally at graduations, both high school and college. Another tradition at graduation is the wearing of the mortarboard, or the funny little hat that students have on top of their head, and the long black gown. These garments have long history dating back to medieval clergy and European universities. In 1895, American institutions formed the Intercollegiate Commission, which standardized the academic dress. For over 100 years, Pomp and Circumstance is played throughout the country, and students wear the cap and gown for graduation ceremony. Like all rites of passage, this one we call graduation has 3 stages: separation, transition, and incorporation. The student's journey is similar to these 3 stages. For the graduates, separation is during the struggles of school, especially leaving home for the first time in elementary school. I was an elementary principal for a while, and kindergarten is always a very difficult transition for students. Transition is the process of moving from grade to grade and year to year, from first to second, from elementary to middle, and then from middle to high school. The graduation exercise itself is a part of a transition. Incorporation is the final stage. Students have become graduates. This state is symbolized by the turning of the tassel, which will happen this evening. I have to say that I think it's not ironic that students at 18 become majority. They can sign into contracts, they can get married without parents' permission, and it happens at the same time we have graduation. It's a final rite of passage as they become adults. The ritual of graduation adds a touch of the melancholy and pride to the rites of passage. Parents watch their children pass to a new stage of life, and graduates feel satisfied in their accomplishments. Let this rite of passage begin as we celebrate these students' transition from students to young adults, and let me thank you for giving me the privilege of being part of this rite of passage. Now I'm going to like to introduce Ms. Ramsey, who is our fabulous counselor. She does a fantastic job. I always worry that somebody's going to steal her away. And she is going to recognize students with the top 10 GPA averages.
So at this time, we would like to recognize the students with the top 10 grade point averages at the Early College Academy. Can these students please stand as I call their name? Riley Montgomery with a 3.976. Autumn Scott with a 4.086. Michael Gendron with a 4.090. Brandon Courier, 4.136. Marissa Cordova, 4.192. Franz Chavez, 4.281. Rodrigo Llanes, 4.309. Kari Erickson, 4.370. Greg Brunson, 4.373. And Diana Huen with a 4.531. We commend these students for their hard work and efforts, and like all of their classmates at the Early College Academy, we know that each of them will be successful at all they attempt and will make their own positive mark in the world. Congratulations to all of you.
Good evening. Congratulations, you guys. Well, she spoiled my surprise. I thought I was going to get to announce number 2. But Mr. Brunson is a man of few words, and so I'm going to keep this short as well. Greg, you want to stand up for me? So Greg is not speaking, he's a man of few words, but whenever he speaks, the words are very sharp. And I remember meeting Greg when he was a 9th grader in my class. And about 5 minutes after meeting, you realize that he's going to be smarter than you are very soon. And about 5 minutes later, he was. And so I did what most every teacher that Greg has had over the years at ECA did very quickly. I got out of his way. And I think that the rest of you will find out, those of you who meet and teach and work with Greg, that the best thing you need to do is just get out of his way, okay? Because he knows what he's doing. So congratulations, Greg. Great job.
He is also a gentleman. He knew that Kari was right behind him on his heels, and so he made way so that she could give a senior speech. And I am pleased to introduce our senior speaker, who is number 3 in the class, Kari Erickson. Kari. I just want to say a couple things about her. She's an outstanding student and an ECA citizen. She will attend New Mexico Tech in the fall to study engineering. While at ECA, she could often be found in the robotics lab, building robots and supervising her robotics teacher, Mr. Mike Nord, who loves to entertain his students with zombie escapades. Additionally, she was active in Key Club and was recognized as ECA's outstanding Key Club member by the Kiwanis International. Kari is kind and gentle, and she's left her mark on her school, and like many of her classmates, will be missed next year as she embarks on her next educational journey. We are excited to see what happens to her.
Sorry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, teachers and staff. Thank you for being here with us today. It means the world to us to have your support and your congratulations. I honestly hadn't thought about making a speech for the whole class until very recently. See, I'm not a very good public speaker, and I tend to cry easily. Most of these will support me behind this, but I apologize in advance for any stumbles I may make during this speech, or if I faint, I do that. ECA is a very small school, as you can tell by the number of graduates here. ECA is less than half the size of my middle school, probably less than a quarter of the size of my middle school. It's almost impossible to get lost in the hallways, even if you're new. Almost. There's a couple of people here that we probably shouldn't name. Because it's such a small school, I have had the chance to get to know and befriend just about all 52 of these people, a number I probably would not have managed anywhere else. I've had 4 years to realize that it's hard not to be friends with the people you see every single day, be it in the halls or in a class, or you find them at the grocery store and you wonder what they're doing there. Usually they're shopping. It was almost impossible to miss somebody, even if you tried to avoid them. I've also realized that we're all really, really diverse. There's something about this little school that drew in completely different types of people, be it the size itself or the staff or the rest of the students here. Something about this school attracted all of us strangers and created some of the most unlikely friendships out of them. It's incredible, to say the least, how we all get along so well without the fights that you see in most other schools. Maybe that's why I fell in love with this class, because you've become used enough to the diversity to accept my personality, even if I faint the very first day you meet me. I love you, Hannah. I I came here alone and scared and shy, and I leave with some confidence, a lot of friends, and an additional family separate from my own, bonded with experience and not blood. I'll forever be grateful to the little card that came in the mail that said, "Hey, look, there's an open house," even though it came the day of. We almost didn't make it. I'm glad we did. So I'm thankful for that card because it gave me the opportunity to meet all these wonderful people, both staff and students, for giving me memories to hold close in the future and a path to start off my future. A path that I probably wouldn't be on if it were for any other school. See, we've all had our obstacles, some a lot harder to overcome than others, some a lot harder, and we've all made it through. I'd like to say to you all that the future is a given at this point, a guaranteed life of success and happiness earned the very moment that all of you walked up here on this stage. I'd like to, but I can't promise that. There will be more struggles to come, but it's not like they're not hard workers. They've already shown their strength. You can see it right now because they're here, graduating. And I know that they'll use that strength to push through the rest of their lives. So, to all of my fellow students, take our memories and push your way into the future. I look forward to seeing where you've all gone whenever Diana ends up arranging our reunion. There's been disputes on the year, but it's going to happen. I'll bug her until it happens because I'm going to miss you guys. So, congratulations, class of 2014. You've made it through, and it's time to go into the real world. Thank you all for being here to witness this.
Good job, Kari. That was great. It's me again, by the way, in case you didn't know me, Mr. Noriega. I just like saying my name. Sorry. Been seriously thinking about dropping the first part and just going by Noriega, like legally. Thank you. Got one approval. Okay, so this next student, oh my goodness. There are not enough words that I could tell you guys to describe this student. If one that I could think of right off the bat is an angel. She is like an angel. Like, this girl is just perfect. I mean, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's funny, she's reliable. I mean, any kind of descriptive word that's positive, you could apply it to this girl. She's just magnificent. Whenever I found out that I was going to be the one to introduce her today, it really meant a lot to me because over these 4 years with this student, we've been through a lot. I don't know how many times, like last night at the banquet, she talked about coming and bothering me, and I actually think it's the other way around. Like, I remember going and bothering her. Like, hey, I need a sign, hurry. Oh, I needed you to go do this. Oh, go sell tickets for me. Oh, you need to go make this DVD. Oh, go do this, go do that. And never once did she say, oh, I don't want to. She just would go and do it. And I mean, running, like, it was awesome. Like, sometimes I would come up to her and she just like already knew what I needed and she would just go. It was amazing. And so throughout these 4 years, it's always been like that. I mean, like, from anything, like, I remember having to text her and be like, hey, you need to go get this for us for prom. And then, like, all of a sudden, she would have it. Or we need to get this done. We need to get this done. And she just was always there. And then on top of that, her grades and her scholastics and academic stuff is extraordinary. I mean, I'll get some of her papers and I'll read them and it'll be about microeconomics and it's advanced placement. So you're talking some pretty exciting stuff. No, it's not. I feel bad for them sometimes. And she would turn in these papers, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, like none of my professors that I've ever had in politics or economics could even do half of what she did. So just amazing stuff. Sometimes I'm like, this is just way over my head. She knows more than me, just like me and Walker. We joke around about that, but like between her and Brunson, yes. I mean, that's a lot of brain power. I mean, like you're lucky right now that your brains aren't exploding just because they're in the room with us. But she is just a wonderful kid. She's the sweetest person, and any of her classmates would agree, and any of the staff would agree. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce your 2014 valedictorian, Diana Nguyen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, staff and teachers, families and friends. My name is Diana Nguyen. Before I commence with my speech, I'd just like to speak a few words of appreciation in my native language, because I'd like it if my family could understand a brief part of my speech, at the least. Please bear with me. Cảm ơn ba mẹ, cô Vi, chị Thảo, Gấu, Quân, cô Thị, cô Khang, cô Uyên, cho Hải, John. Cảm ơn mọi người tới đây hôm nay cho ra lễ của con. I promise I'm not like trash talking anybody. Honest. Okay, so with that, I'm going to continue with the English part. I will honestly admit that writing this speech was the hardest task I've ever completed. It's funny to think that I've waited 4 years for this, and yet when the time came, I choked up. Where was I? Oh. I knew that I wasn't going to be emotionally prepared for it, but it seems as though I never will be. So here goes anyway. Once upon a time, we were all freshmen, walking aimlessly around the halls, trying to find our classes that we know now by heart. I can't believe how much everyone has grown over the past 4 years. Look where we are, look who we've become, and look what we've accomplished. We all used to be innocent. Well, some of us. And for the most part, we were dorky youths. And now we've grown to become strong, independent role models for the future upperclassmen. I'm proud of everyone and of their transformations and achievements. 4 years have passed all too quickly, and I would give up anything to relive it again. Granted, within those 4 years, our tiny school community unfortunately did not have the opportunities to participate in typical high school events, such as sport tournaments, orchestra performances, or even science competitions. However, we didn't need them. We were an outstanding school, all on our own. We even earned recognition for being selected by the New Mexico Public Education Department as one of New Mexico's BEST schools. And on top of that, we had a graduation rate of over 90.1%. Our success was due to the hard work and dedication of none other than Early College Academy's very own administration, teachers, and of course, students. So I sincerely thank you all for that. Past put aside, I must say that looking onto the near future disheartens me, because I know that I may not see anyone from here on out, even though the majority of us will be attending the same university, because the chances of each individual choosing an identical major is slim to none. Not to mention that some of us will be leaving Albuquerque, or even the state, to pursue their own aspirations and dreams. Being separated from what I considered my second family here at ECA will definitely be a rough time in my life. But it gives me a reason and motivation to look forward to our reunion and to finishing college. And there can be no doubt about it that the next chapter in our lives will be nothing short of an exciting adventure just waiting for us ahead. I mean, look on the bright side. For anyone who's been suffering from senioritis, here's a chance to redeem ourselves by starting all over again. We can only go as far as we push ourselves, which reminds me of a little quote by Jeremy Irons that goes, "What takes us back to the past are the memories. What brings us forward are our dreams." And I'd just like to point out that I have absolutely no idea who Jeremy Irons is. I just Googled some inspirational quotes and I happen to like that one. With that out of the way, I would just like to say that this is my advice to all of you. You can reminisce all you want about your nostalgic and heartwarming memories, but that doesn't mean you should let them hold you back. There were also hardships and struggles that you overcame to be where you are now. So live for the moment, show your potential, and excel. Become something of yourself, and be exhilarated for what the near future will bring, but don't forget to stay humble. Congratulations, Early College Academy Class of 2014, and remember, graduation is only the beginning.
Before I do the special awards, I would like to ask you to look at the back of your program. I listed the APS School Board, and I want to thank them for their support of our school, especially Early College Academy and the Career Enrichment Center. I think that sometimes it's easier to make decisions because of the whole group, and you know, big high schools oftentimes are more economically a good investment economically. But I really appreciate that we have a school board that recognizes that we need diversity of schools, and so I would like to thank them, the two board members here, and all the other board members for that support. I'd also like to thank the APS leadership team. I think sometimes they have a difficult job, and we're always complaining about them. But it's a hard job to run a district this big. So on behalf of our school, thank you for that. And finally, there are some names of parents and students here. Last night we had our honors dinner, and we raised over $425 in donations. And those donations allowed the staff to attend, and also families that couldn't afford it. And your generosity was deeply appreciated, so I want to formally recognize you for that. So we, last night, gave these 3 awards out. Unfortunately, we didn't actually have the award last night because they were in the mail. But the 3 awards that we're going to just distribute right now come from the National Association of Secondary School Principals. And what the students are going to get is a pen, and they're going to get an award, and then they're going to get a letter from the president. And unfortunately, the letter is a copy. It's not the original signature, but it was written especially for students across the nation. So the first award is the Citizenship Award, and we gave it last night to 2 students, and I just want to tell you why we got them, and they'll come forward and get the award. Brandon Courier, he received the award because he is so dependable, and Ms. Tipicani every day could count on him, even though he wasn't receiving credit and wasn't formally in the class, to run our Tips Cafe with her. And Nicholas Martinez, who has served for 2 years on the Superintendent's Advisory Council called SuperSAC. And so would those 2 students come forward and get their award? I have to shout out to Brandon's parents. They were my students at Rio Grande High School. That's how old I am. But I was like 10, and they did a great job in raising this fine young man. The next one is called the Educational Achievement Award, and that award is students that have had some type of personal struggle. And we all have struggles in our life, and these 2 students graduated with high honors, and have worked really hard to be where they are. And I know that last night, one of the students, Benjamin Hall, his teacher honored him for writing the most extraordinary paper. And he's an incredible kid. And so he received the award for educational achievement. And then Natalie, I did it again, Nadia. I did it again. I keep calling her sister's name. Anyway, Nadia Coleman is an incredible engineer. And she and Greg Brunson are going to work this summer for Sandia Labs. And she has received countless scholarships. And she is a very remarkable student. So would you come forward? I don't know what happened. It's like it's in my brain. Forgive me. Yes, of course. I forgive you. And we recognized our valedictorian, our salutatorian, but we also have the Academic Excellence Award, and it's never fun to be like third, fourth, fifth, sixth place. I know that. My life has been full of that. But we wanted to recognize two students that were always neck and neck with the valedictorian and salutatorian for their academic excellence. We could depend on these students to be leaders in the classroom. And the first student, as you got to meet her, was Kari Erickson. And if you were at the dinner last night, you got to hear Rodrigo Llanes speak. And I'm telling you, he is a polished speaker. And he looked a little bit like a young, John F. Kennedy talking last night. I could see him on this podium, maybe running for Congress or something. He's an incredible young man, and we want to recognize him too. You're an incredible engineer, too. I just want to say, it's ironic, he's also an incredible engineer. We have a theme going on at our school, which is science and engineering, and all of these students are pretty remarkable. I could be standing up here all night giving awards to our students, but unfortunately, we need to go on. So here's the moment that you're all waiting for. I am going to present the class. So Dr. Annalie Maestas and Mr. Marty Esquivel, would you please come forward? Dr. Maestas and Mr. Esquivel, I would like to present the class of 2014. They have met all the graduation requirements as set forth by the Albuquerque Public Schools Board of Education, along with the New Mexico Public Education Department. To you, I present the ECA class of 2014.
Good evening. On behalf of the Albuquerque Public Schools Board of Education, we are honored to accept the Early College Academy class of 2014. Congratulations.
Our first graduate is Holly Becker. Holly will begin her education at C&M in the fall and hopes to study chemistry and eventually transfer to UNM. Joseph Banuelos. Joseph wants to join the Albuquerque Police Department and become a detective. Eduardo Beltran. Eduardo will go to C&M in the fall and dreams of one day going on to medical school at UCLA. Emily Brown. Emily will go to college and wants to eventually become a forensic psychologist. She will attend C&M in the fall and transfer to UNM later in her education. Hannah Broyles. Hannah will go to UNM and hopes to someday be a physical or an occupational therapist. Greg Brunson. Greg will attend UNM on the Presidential Scholarship to study computer engineering. This summer, he was offered an internship and will work at Sandia Labs. Franz Curtis Chavez. Franz will attend New Mexico Tech in the fall, where he was granted the Presidential Scholarship. He plans to study computer science and electrical engineering. Nadia Mercedes Coleman. Nadia plans to obtain a degree in electrical engineering and computer science. She will get her start on her career this summer through her highly coveted internship at Sandia National Labs. Marissa Amelia Cordova. Marissa will begin her education at C&M and eventually go on to UNM to study science or law. Brandon Cole Courier. Brandon also received the Presidential Scholarship from UNM, where he will go on to study accounting. He wants to work for the FBI or become a U.S. Marshal someday. Jose Eddie Del Toro. Eddie will go to UNM in the fall and hopes to someday become a computer programmer. Tiana Shania Encinias. Tiana will attend C&M in the fall and hopes to one day become a massage therapist. Amanda Entrikin. Amanda plans to attend UNM to major in linguistics and psychology. She hopes to one day become a teacher of elementary students or linguistics. Kari Erickson. Kari is a recipient of the Silver Scholarship at New Mexico Tech, where she will attend and study technology and science. Anthony Garcia. Anthony plans to study nursing and medicine at C&M in the fall. Michael Gendron. Michael received the UNM Scholarship, where he will attend college. He hopes to one day work for the FBI. Joshua Mark Gomez. Josh will go to UNM. He eventually plans to attend UNM to pursue a degree in business and accounting. He plans to get his CPA. Kayla Marie Gomez. Kayla plans to start at UNM, or C&M, and transfer to UNM to get her RN degree in nursing. She wants to become a certified nurse anesthetist. Benjamin Hall. Ben has been accepted into the Honors College at the University of New Mexico. There he will study computer science. Jacqueline Ray Nicole Hampston. Jackie is starting at C&M this summer to pursue a degree in nursing. She wants to work in an emergency room. Diana Huen. Diana is a recipient of the Presidential Scholarship at UNM, where she will attend to major in management. She plans to manage a restaurant or become a chef. Kyle Kiefer. Kyle will begin his education at UNM. He plans to eventually transfer to UC Boulder and become a psychiatrist. Ting Ting A.Y. Lob. Ting Ting received the Regents Scholarship from New Mexico State University, where she will attend in the fall to study fashion design and merchandising. Rodrigo Llanes. Rodrigo is a recipient of the UNM Presidential Scholarship, where he will attend the School of Engineering to study electrical engineering. Ruth Elizabeth Lloyd. Ruth will attend the Aveda Institute to become a licensed cosmetologist. She dreams of one day owning her own salon. Andreas Archuleta Loser. Andreas will attend UNM to study economics and politics. He plans to travel and see the world. Carlos Marquez. Carlos wants to attend CNM and then on to UNM to major in criminology and psychology. He hopes to become a forensic detective and join the police academy. Haley Marshall. Haley was accepted into the honors program at Fort Lewis College in Durango, Colorado, where she will attend to major in forensics and medicine. Karina Martinez. Karina will go to college to earn her bachelor's degree in sociology. Nicholas Gerard Martinez. Nick plans to pursue his dream of moving to California and follow his goal of working as a vocal artist and even owning his own record label someday. Elvia M. Medina. Elvia will attend New Mexico State University, where she will major in history or computer engineering. Chance Andrew Miller. Chance will attend college at New Mexico Military Institute, where he will pursue a degree in law enforcement. Mary Claire Monte. Mary will attend West Texas A&M to study science or medicine. Riley Marissa Montgomery. Riley wants to study law. She will start her education at the University of New Mexico, where she will transfer with her already earned 41 credits of college. Luke Morrell. Luke plans to go to college at University of New Mexico or Tech, but hopes to someday join the military. Alex Ochoa. Alex will attend CNM in the fall to major in business. He wants to work for a human resources department someday. Cecilia Ortega. Cecilia plans to attend CNM and get her 2-year degree in nursing and then transfer on to continue her degree at UNM. Alexandra Pena. Alexandra plans to attend UNM in the fall. Yoselin Perez. Yoselin will begin her education at CNM, where she wants to study business or architecture. Ruby Quintana. Ruby has 40 credits already completed and will start at UNM, where she will study criminal justice. She wants to one day join the police academy. Liviana Rodriguez. Liviana will attend UNM in the fall to study journalism. Miguel Angel Rodriguez. Miguel will attend CNM and wants to become a police officer and attend the police academy. Nicole Gabriela Romero. Nicole wants to go to college and become a dental assistant. She will begin her education at CNM. Jefferson Ross. Jefferson has been accepted into the Honors College at UNM, where he will study biology. He plans to eventually go into the dentistry program at the University of Washington. Rachel Salas. Rachel will go to college and pursue a degree in computer science. She plans to work for the government in cyber safety and one day become a teacher. Autumn Scott. Autumn will attend UNM in the fall, where she received a scholarship for her music. She will double major in music therapy and performance. Mark Sorensen. Mark will attend San Juan Community College to pursue an associate's degree in diesel technician. Brianna Monique St. John. Brianna will attend CNM in the fall and hopes to eventually transfer on to UNM. Tracy J. Suit. Tracy will attend CNM and finish his already started degree in automotives. He dreams of owning his own shop someday. Jihad Thabit. Jihad is graduating 1 year early from high school and will attend UNM in the fall, where he plans to study architecture. Morgan Helene Trzynski. Morgan will attend San Juan Community College and pursue an applied science degree in cosmetology. Katie Morgan Ty. Katie is a recipient of the UNM Scholars Scholarship, where she will attend to pursue her degree as a registered nurse. Tyler Walker. Tyler will attend UNM in the fall and hopes to one day join the military as an officer. And now Student Body President Carlos Marquez will lead his classmates in this final rite of passage.
Wow, look at all these people. All right, I don't really have much to say, but I just wanted to tell my class that you guys should pursue everything that makes you happy. Don't do anything that, don't do anything that doesn't make you happy, because you will regret it. Like one day you'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have listened to these people who told me to do this, because I didn't do what I wanted to do in the first place. If your parents tell you to do something, I'm sorry, like it's kind of like provocative, but like, don't do something that you don't want to do, because it's not going to work out. All right, I was supposed to tell everybody to rise, but everybody's already risen. So our tassels represent integrity, courage, and perseverance that we have gained throughout our time here at ECA. And now to symbolize our transition from high school to our future, please join me in the turning of our tassels from right to left. Congratulations, ECA class of 2014.
Before these students leave the stage, I want to just speak briefly to the parents. As a parent myself, I understand how bittersweet this moment is for you. I know how much time and effort you have taken to raise these outstanding young people, and our hats are off to you for a job well done. I'm not only speaking to the parents here, I'm speaking to the relatives and the extended family. I grew up in a big Greek family, so, you know, everybody was part of raising who I am. We at ECA, and especially the students here, would like to show you our appreciation, and our students are going to show you their support by giving you a standing ovation. You deserve it. Guests, please rise as the graduates leave the stage.